Welcome back to another video. I'm super stoked to share the memories we made with our boys on an epic road trip adventure of the American Southwest. We camp on rushing riversides and survive a night of sub-freezing temperatures on the very edge of the Grand Canyon. This trip was an adventure filled with challenges, awe-inspiring landscapes, and cherished family moments. I put together this whole trip in about 3 weeks, as our spring break plans kept shifting around. I've long wanted to share the Grand Canyon with our boys, and I decided we just need to go. The whole world is a drive away. We had a very late start, which meant that we got into our campsite at Zion National Park at close to midnight. It's not always ideal, but there's a special kind of magic to pulling into a campsite in total darkness and then waking up surrounded by breathtaking beauty. I scored a last-minute reservation at this incredible campsite under the Watchman rock formation. This killer spot was backed by the Virgin River and, of course, that stunning view. I'm not so into the crowded campground scene, but dang, this was excellent. Skipping the unbelievably long bus lines of Zion, we embarked on a scenic drive along the Mount Carmel Highway. This 25-mile route ranks among the most picturesque drives in the United States. We stopped at nearly every pullout to take in the incredible scenery. Snow-capped redstone cliffs with cascading waterfalls left us lost for words. This happened over and over on this trip. The Southwest is full of visual spectacle that has to be experienced. It just can't be captured by camera or word. One interesting feature was the Zion Mount Carmel Tunnel, an impressive mile-long structure completed in 1930. At the time, it was the longest tunnel in the United States. Modern cars are much larger, so the tunnel now operates as a one-directional passage with alternating traffic flow. Eastbound, we set our sights on the grand Staircase-Escalante National Monument. With the warm sun kissing our arms, we made camp at White House Campground. We were immersed in a beautiful and complex desert landscape, with windswept sandstone structures, slot canyons, and the Pariah River below. With the awning set up, we spent a lazy afternoon under its shade. Though this primitive BLM managed campground was full, our neighbors were quiet, respectful, and chill. Unfortunately, this time we were the loud family.
Hard or soft? Hard or hard? Rough or smooth? Rough. Rough is good enough for smooth or something. Ah, found it.
As the sun got low in the sky, the boys played with their cars in the smooth sandstone. Spidey hands.
at the White House Campground, and it's night right now, and we're eating dinner, or we just finished eating dinner.
What's the weather like?
It's pretty windy, but it's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's great, this trip.
It looks great.
Yeah, what's been your favorite thing about the campground?
The campfire that you always bring. About the whole trip?
Sure, what's your favorite thing about the whole trip, Steve?
It hasn't came yet.
Oh yeah, what do you think it's going to be?
It's going to be the Las Vegas hotel.
You're looking forward to a hotel in Las Vegas, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I can see that. We had a good night camping at White House, and we spent the morning exploring our surrounds. Amazing can be found all over this part of the world, and Grand Staircase-Escalante did not disappoint.
Yeah. You could probably climb through there if you really
What we didn't see eclipses what we saw, but it was exciting to get a taste of an area that we must explore more in the future.
Thanks for letting me know.
Today was the day I've been dreaming of. Our plan was to spend 2 nights dispersed camping 30 miles deep into the backcountry on the very rim of the Grand Canyon. I felt the spirit of Edward Abbey as I hiked down to the Glen Canyon Dam overlook. Seeing these things leaves me conflicted. A monument to human ingenuity and will, or a monument to destruction and dominion over nature? Is it a towering tombstone for what was lost? The wind started gusting pretty hard, and flying sand stung our faces. How bad could it be, I hoped? But shoulder season weather can get loose, so I had concerns. And the winds were so strong, the waves were going against the current of the mighty Colorado River. We had to make some choices about our plans for the rest of the day. After getting sandblasted, I hopped in the cab of the truck and started looking for hotels. Winds whipped across the plateau as we checked into a hotel. We enjoyed hot showers, and I watched a documentary about 3 friends camping in the desert. As much as the boys love camping, they love a hotel room. I watched out the window as heavy rain descended over the area we were to camp that night. We awoke to chilly but more stable weather. Temperatures were in the low 40s, and the wind settled to occasional 20-ish mile-per-hour gusts. Our goal today was to get 30 miles off the highway, deep into the backcountry to the very edge of the Grand Canyon. We stopped at the Navajo Bridge in Marble Canyon. We took the footbridge across the Colorado River and watched the condors drift in the breeze. Steady winds blew sand across the plain as we aired down our tires. This bank of clouds kept advancing and retreating across the lowlands we were crossing. At times, snow flurries blew across our windshield. Throughout the day, the snow flurries would blow across the plain, but then get pushed back up to the Kaibab Plateau. It was a dance full of drama. Later we saw the clouds form massive upwellings. I'm guessing from the warmer desert air colliding with the below-freezing low-pressure system above the plateau. The winds became more severe, but we were determined to spend the night out here. We spent a few hours looking for a suitable campsite that had some shelter from the wind, but also wasn't so close to the edge that there was a fall risk.
Oh look, it's right at the edge.
But more importantly, we took in these incredible vistas. The brain, at least mine, just can't comprehend the depth and details of the staggering views out here.
No, Peter, I don't like it. I don't like him being.
I'm on top of the world!
What an incredible country we live in. We must take care of it.
What?
We considered some potential sites in a marginally wooded area, but the snow blew in, so we retreated to the lower ground. Is it snowing a bit?
Yeah.
Finally got to play in the snow. With the sun low in the sky, we found a perfect campsite with an incredible view. While not totally sheltered from the winds, for some reason this campsite had less winds than others. Alright, where are you at?
The Grand Canyon.
What do you think?
It looks cool.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah.
It's quite a view. Have you ever seen anything like that?
Not really.
Yeah. Ooh, is the snow coming again? Yikes. When I planned this trip, I had visions of our 4 chairs lined up, us enjoying happy hour drinks and snacks, watching the sunset light pour into the Grand Canyon. Well, it was just too cold, and the rest of the family huddled in the tent while I made dinner. The clouds continued their back and forth dance to the edge of the Grand Canyon. The wind picked up and snow flurries blew across our camp for a few minutes. This was getting worrisome. As night fell, the valve on the propane tank froze, so I had to cook dinner with the jet boil and improvised a pot stand. Soon after sunset, temperatures dropped from the 40s to the mid-20s, and the clouds finally retreated up into the plateau. With a diesel heater clicking away, my family kept warm in the tent and played cards. We snuggled up in our down sleeping bags and watched a movie. The full moon illuminated this wild land in total splendor. I'll never forget shivering with the cold night air stinging my face, seeing the moonlight reflecting off the snow-covered mountains and the Grand Canyon walls. In perfect silence. What a moment. A beautiful, warm, still morning greeted us. I cooked a feast on the tailgate of the truck, and the boys took in the epic scenery. temperature hit a low of 17, which is about as cold as I've ever camped. There's a saying that there's no bad weather, just bad gear. As a certified dad dude, I'm happy to report we had the right gear to get us through the sub-freezing night in relative comfort. It feels like a major parenting accomplishment to share this place with my boys. I hope and expect this is a trip they will never forget. While I'm sure their young brains would prefer a McDonald's meal or some Robux, I know the gift we are giving them of this trip will live on forever in their memories. Well, we're about to depart the Grand Canyon after a crazy night, 17-degree temperatures, and it's spectacular. And there's really no words to describe it. Obviously pictures and video can't do it justice either. And I'm terrible talking to the camera. All right. After getting back on the highway, we pushed for the South Rim at Grand Canyon National Park. The boys experienced the backcountry, but we wanted them to see the national park and the sprawling Grand Canyon vista that millions of people see every year. With our brains slightly broken from the 30 hours of incomprehensible Grand Canyon viewing, we spent a few minutes at the South Rim and departed for a hotel in Flagstaff. We spent the night at the incredibly charming Motel DuBeau. A major selling point was the family suite with a bunk bed in one room for the boys and a queen bed for us. Motel DuBeau provided comfort and convenience with a modern sense of style. It seemed to attract travelers and adventurers, and we would definitely stay there again. First, we stopped by Bearizona in Williams, Arizona. There's a drive-through loop with all sorts of wildlife like bison, mountain goats, bears, mule deer, etc. And then there's a zoo-like walk-in area with many more animals, including well-trained grizzly bears. It was a fun stop. I thought the drive-through would be the highlight, but it turns out the walk-around was the thing. After departing Bearizona, we hopped on the historic Route 66. This 100-mile stretch of highway is the longest remaining portion of Route 66. It was a lovely way to spend the afternoon, stopping at roadside curiosities and enjoying the relaxed pace of the open highway. Steve made sure to get a picture taken with all of his favorite Cars characters. The Hackenberry General Store was a great place to take pictures. We made lunch out of the tailgate of the truck and soaked in the warm sun at their picnic tables. Route 66 led us to the epic Hoover Dam. We arrived late in the afternoon, and by the time we made it through the security inspection, drove across, parked, and walked back across, the crowds thinned to nothing. We basically had the whole place to ourselves as the sun sank down into the mountains. It was peaceful and magnificent. I've already talked about my conflicted feelings about dams. The Hoover Dam has some sort of emotional gravity for me. I'm not sure exactly what or why, but I feel it. My wife and I visited in 2008 on a road trip moving back to California from a stint living in Texas. We hit the Grand Canyon on that trip too. At the time, I felt like that 2008 road trip could be the first of many explorations. But then life and death and babies came. You all know that story. Like a good dad, in the days leading up to our visit, I made sure we listened to Waylon sing about the building of the Hoover Dam. Imagining Johnny Cash flying a starship is the thing that really captures the imagination. After taking our time and taking in the moment, we drove to Las Vegas. We took in this view of the Strip from our non-casino hotel as we ate pizza and wings in our room. The highlight of our time in Las Vegas was the weird and wonderful Omega Mart by Meow Wolf. It's really impossible to explain, but perhaps it's an escape room, theme park, art installation. Super fun in any case. Whatever you might take away from the experience, it is a must visit. And then we hopped over to the Bellagio to show the boys the water show. The Bellagio was bonkers full of people, and the boys could only hang for about 10 minutes before we decided to get back to the quiet refuge of our hotel. It's been an eye-opening trip for them in so many ways. On our final push home, we took time exploring the curiosities on Interstate 15. We stopped for a bit to see Seven Magic Mountains, which is an art installation just off the 15 west of Las Vegas. As you can see, this place was totally blown out with people, but it was rad to see the mass consumption of public art. I felt good after seeing this. We enjoyed date milkshakes, alien beef jerky, and the desert views. As the miles wore on, I was feeling the tractor beam of home, so I went into trucker mode, chasing those white lines, and I didn't take too many pictures. We did stop at 8-Bit Brewing in Temecula for dinner, and I got to play my all-time favorite pinball game, Funhouse. If you'd like to explore and camp at places like these, please learn about and practice Leave No Trace and Tread Lightly principles. That way we can all enjoy these special spots in the future. Thanks for watching. Alright, what about leave a comment? No comments?
And make sure to leave a comment.
Hit it.
Like and subscribe, and comments. Send a comment.